What's up everybody, my name is Nick from Peak Suspension, and today we're going to go over our 2019 Ford Ranger build. We got this back in February. The idea was to build something for Overland Expo, so we wanted to have something new. We wanted to be the first to have kind of one of the crazier build Rangers, and I think we achieved it. We've done a few things since the last time you saw it and kind of want to highlight those things today. So as you can see, it's a little different than probably you saw back in April. We went with the Relentless hybrid bumper for the front, 3/16 plate steel, KC highlights all around, as you can tell. Winch wise, we went with the Warren XPS 10.5 with the factor 55 flat link. Love the style. We get a lot of compliments on this. The hybrid bumper is the plate center with the tube outers, so it's a little bit more lightweight, a little bit protection, obviously, more approach angles, a lot of lighting positions and mounting. So we went with the KC front amber flex, so forward visibility for the trucks in front of us. We ended up going with the Ford Raptor grille. We weren't sure about it. We kind of were up and down about do we want to go that direction. It's getting kind of popular, but it fits the beefiness of the truck. It's a mid-size, but it's a big truck. We ended up going with 35 by 12.5 Falcon Wild Peak MTs. So this is kind of the cool thing on this truck, is that I would say we were the first, but I think Icon tied us on the same exact date. They did 35s on theirs. So it really brings a really aggressive stance to this truck. We had 33s on it before, and we just felt they were a little too small. The wheel wells on these trucks are round as opposed to the Colorado with a square wheel well, so you can really fit a large tire. With lift, we went the Eibach Pro Truck lift, adjustable from 0 to about 4 inches on the front. Baja kits control arm for additional articulation and strength. It's a really great setup. We're super happy with it. We're looking at probably switching over to the new Eibach Pro Truck coilover soon, so it'll be an actual coilover assembly that'll build on the front of this. We went with the SDHQ ditch light brackets and the KC Flex duals. The really cool thing about the way these mount is they're not hood mounted like most of the Flex or most of the ditch brackets are. So these ones mount up inside the fender, so they're completely separate from the hood, which is really great, and it pushes the light beam outside, so you're not wasting and washing light on the hood itself. Really happy with how that came out. So moving forward, we have the Rome Adventure Company cases on top. Now this is handy because as we get to the back, you'll see we're a little low on storage. So we had to get some additional storage for the annex, the camping gear, recovery, all kinds of different stuff that we want to have on the truck at all times. We don't want to take up the bed either. So having it on the roof really adds that extra, storage functionality. Really easy to get to. Just climb up, use the side rails, and you're in. So it's really easy to access, really handy. Might affect the gas mileage a little bit, but it's not really. Look at the truck, it's not really that relevant. So mounted to KC MRAC, which is the first of its kind on this truck. So they prototyped it for us for Overland Expo. KC gravity bar, KC C-Series side lights. So as you can tell, we're really big fans of KC, part of the KC family, so really happy to support them on this truck as well. We did some homemade rock sliders. A good friend of ours at 3 Off-Road built these for us. When we had the truck, there was really nothing available. So it was steps, which we weren't really thrilled with. We don't like the idea of having something that can hang down low and get caught. So we just went with a simple slider tube on a square, and just adds that protection, which we've had to use plenty of times already. So moving back to the truck, I didn't mention it before, but these are the Alpha Command wheels. So this is a newer wheel brand that a good friend of ours started. We really wanted to support the brand. We also helped sell this brand as well, so we were really happy to run these. The cool thing about these wheels is they're dual valve stem technology. So you have your primary and your secondary valves for active air monitoring. So when you're airing up or down, you can have air pressure valve on it, so you can see exactly where you rather have to turn off and on your compressor to determine your pressure. So it's kind of cool to have. It's kind of its only first of its kind with that feature, so we're happy to run it, happy to support them as well. Continuing on, we have the Magnaflow Exhaust. So we went with the catback from Magnaflow. Really happy with the way this came out. Reason being is that I'm not a huge fan of super loud exhausts. This is a 4-cylinder truck, so the louder it would get, the more ridiculous it would sound, and I just wasn't really into that. Maybe I'm getting old, but I kind of like that a little bit more throaty, a little bit more deep tone. So really happy with how that came out. We have the setup for our Rago Fabrication bed rack. So this is also the first of its kind. We're happy to announce that these are coming soon. They have 2 in development now, and they're going to run a whole production series soon. So first aid with the auto packs has already come in handy plenty of times. Fuel packs for extra gas. This truck only has an 18-gallon fuel tank, so that's not really the best, especially on 35. So having the extra fuel definitely has helped in many cases. We went with KC C2 perimeter lighting, so that way when we're at camp, when it's super dark, you can at least have it on a dimmer and kind of illuminate your campsite. Also, when you're doing anything outside or outdoors, it's nice to have for that feature. So moving on to the back, we have our Relentless Fabrication Relentless Fabrication tire carrier. This bumper is probably my favorite part of the truck. When we originally had it, we had it on the 33, so I was a little nervous how the 35 would hold up, but as Eric over at Relentless had told me that no problems, this thing's designed to hold the weight. I can stand on this thing and it wouldn't sag. It's just a really, really well-built bumper. We mounted on a universal plate. You can do jacks, you can do rotopacks, you can do whatever you want to do. Jerry can, so it's a plate that you can mount anything. So we went with the rotopacks again. So we have a fresh water tank, and we also have a storage unit. So I keep like air pressure monitoring tools in here, air deflators, things like that. So easy to access, easy to get to. So then go inside the bed here. So this is where I meant storage is kind of difficult with this truck right now. So we went with the deck system. We're really happy with how it is, but there is a sacrifice to bed depth, and especially with the tent rack that we have here. So really what it comes down to is you have this much space for your bed, and with a jack mounted, with shovel, water tank, you kind of start getting low on space. So having the deck system is great. You can store all the things you want in here. So we store all our camping gear, we store air compressors, chairs, all kinds of stuff that we need, tools, full set of tools on board the truck. So it's really handy to have. It keeps it weatherproof. It's mostly dust proof, and we just really like the way it comes out. And plus, they come with integrated boxes, so they don't slide; they lock in place. So we're really happy with how the deck is, especially with this truck. You can get them with a lock. You can lock each drawer, but the truck has a locking tailgate. We decided it wasn't really necessary to do that. Next thing, we have the Rome Adventure Company tent. This is the Vagabond. Also comes with an annex. We've slept many a nights in this tent. It's really comfortable. They're a newer company. The pricing is fantastic. It's probably one of the best bang for the buck you can get as far as the rooftop tents are concerned. They have a new series that just came out, a light, so it's 6 inches shorter. It's more of like a short bed style truck mounted tent. So we have the KC C2s again for perimeter lighting. We also have the KC Flex for a rear chase light. Now, this thing comes in handy, and anyone who's in the off-road can tell you, if you're on a road or a trail that's just covered in dust and you get kicked up, you can't see in front of you, follow the light. If you have a light, that's the only thing you can see. You know when someone's in front of you, you know what your distances, you can keep a track of them. If you don't have this, it can cause issues with visibility. People might rear end you, not seeing you. It just, having forward and rear facing ambers are extremely important. The other thing we have is the Rago Fabrication CB mount, and I've yet to mount it because we've been using a ham radio system, so I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But a lot of guys still like the CBs as a backup, so we'll eventually get this hooked up and wired up. Then we have the Tread 1100 recovery boards on the side. We have had to use those a few times, but they are handy to have on the truck. It's one of those things where damned if you do, damned if you don't, but I'm glad that we have them. The last thing, kind of the highlight, is our Rome Adventure Company awning. So this is a pull-out 5-foot awning. The tent also opens this way as well. So we have between the awning and the tent almost 10 feet of shade, essentially. You can hook up hammocks, you can hook up your chairs, you can set up everything you want. In our camp, we typically bring a Traeger with us, so we'll bring the Traeger in the back, we'll hook it up to a Goal Zero, and have our whole sitting and eating area underneath the awning in the tent. So it's really handy. Once you have the annex set up, then obviously it's a room. Aside from that, everything's powered by the S-Pod system, so we really like that. It's an app-based system. It can also do 8 circuits at a time. So for us, we're already at the 8 circuits between bed lighting, between perimeter lighting, forward-facing lights, and all that stuff too. So really happy with how everything came out. The truck obviously gets used quite a bit. I think you might have seen some videos, or if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you were out on the trails all the time. So I can confidently say that the new Ranger is extremely capable. It's done everything we've wanted it to do. People are really surprised at what this thing's capable of, and there's still more to come. It's still an early aftermarket. It's only been here since February, so I imagine over the next couple of years we'll see a lot more growth in this industry. There'll be a Ranger Raptor coming soon for the next generation, so there's off-road is really where it's at right now. People are super happy with it, and the companies are on board, like the ZR2, Tacoma TRD Pros, so I'm really happy to see the manufacturers jumping on board as well. So it just gives us more options and better competition for everyone else. So thanks for watching. You guys have any questions, you can always reach out to our Instagram page, Facebook, and email us at Peak Suspension too. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say go. What's everybody? This. God damn it.
Oh my god. Oh, such a. It's gonna be a trippy shot.
Should be enough of that.
Yeah.
I'm not actually gonna film any time.